Hey, what's up? It's morning. I'm drinking my space coffee. I compiled what do you call it? Kind of a slideshow last night of uh, a bit about editing and my process. Uh, Exploring the world of video games and Blu-rays. Uh, has been curious about how I do things, how I make things. Uh, Shout out to Danny over at Exploring the World of Video Games and Blu-rays. He's been on YouTube for, I think, 2 weeks, and he has almost 50 subscribers. That took me over a year, so he should be very pleased with his progress as a YouTuber so far. Very likable person, so go check that out. Let's get him up to 100 so he has faster upload times. Okay, so to begin, like I said, I did this slideshow. So I'm going to take a look at slide one. Okay, so the first thing I do is I'm using, you need a crappy old computer. Mine is a MacBook Pro from, I don't know, 2015 or something like that. So a crappy old laptop with iMovie on it. Say what you will about iMovie, it's what I use because it was what was available when I got started, and I haven't moved from it yet because I've learned a lot of tricks, and I don't know. It's there's still a lot that it will do that I have not learned how to do yet. Um, I'm not a person who takes a class or reads a manual. I just open the software and just start clicking buttons and experimenting. And so this has evolved from that. Um, some kind of editing software will probably do all of the same things. It's just a matter of how you prefer to click your buttons and what you've learned. And in the past, I did try a few others, and I do prefer iMac over those. Adobe Premiere Pro long ago was that was a horrible program, but I don't think I've ever been a fan of anything Adobe has ever made. What else did I? I had a really inexpensive Sony one that just stayed in the box because it was so bad and ridiculous and complicated. All of it was just so needlessly complicated. I'm not an industry professional. I just want to make my stupid goofy show, and for me, iMovie is just fine. If you are a professional, or if you want to make a show about modern video games that are very high speed and all of that, frames per second kind of stuff, then iMovie is probably not what you want at all. I do have a converter that I can convert things after, but it exports at 1080p, 30 frames per second, which for what I do is just fine. I have a very slow moving show, and my cat is shoving his face in my face. Um, but yeah, keep that in mind if you want to do modern video games and things of that nature. Okay, so let's see what's the next slide. Oh, and also also on the first slide. So what I've done so far is I've imported all the resources that I need for a very basic shot for me. I just want to show something really simple and basic. So here we go. All right. So I imported all this stuff. Okay. So now I've clicked the image of the station. It's very large. Um, I used to make individual image shots from this image, but I've learned that I can just crop it however I like, and so I just have the one. So next is to pop that into the timeline. And then I'll need to crop it to a certain size that I want to use. Um, Looks like I have two slides of pretty much the same thing. I can't remember. I did this last night, made these still images during the process. Okay, there we go. So now we're cropping the image of that, and you can see that it's taking on the size of the screen here, but I'm also going to zoom way in because, yeah, this is a huge PNG file that I made on a PC with some old software that I'm comfortable with for making images. And I just move it over on a USB stick, move everything over. And it's a pain, but you know, they try and make and sell every computer as this do all be all thing that will do everything, and it's never true. And they just want to resell you the same types of software over and over again, and then every time they update their computers, you have to buy everything again, or every time there's a new operating system, you have to buy everything again. So a long time ago, I just stopped doing that, and now I try and keep old machines running for as long as possible and utilize the software that I've already learned. So yeah, USB sticks have been glorious. I remember the days when I had to burn discs of everything to move it around. Um, anyway, but yeah, it's a pain. Okay, so I've zoomed way in, and now here's my still image that I'm going to use as the initial background image. Alright, so here it is. This is how it looks now to the computer. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take something I've filmed and pop it over the top of it. So here is an old video I made of Scully at an Orbiting Spy rehearsal. Orbiting Spy has their own YouTube now. Go check it out. We did a 39-minute video where we scored an old science fiction film, and the music syncs up with the film, much like the Dark Side of the Wizard of Oz Pink Floyd thing might do. Uh, we're pretty proud of that. Definitely go and check that out. Anyway, so here's an old video of Scully. So I'm going to use that today. So you pop that over the top of the image that you've already put in the timeline. And the next thing I'll need to do is drag the image to the length of the video. But you just click on it and grab it and drag it. It's real easy. Here I am dragging it. Okay, so you get that image to the end of the video. And now you need to make the video, place the video into the space station, which is the still image. So you do that by selecting this first menu option with the two squares, and right now it's set to cutaway, but we're going to change that to picture in picture. So yeah, you click that and you get the options, and the fourth one down is picture in picture. Okay, so this is the default. This is what it looks like when you first select picture in picture. Now you can drag that anywhere onto the image, and you can change the size of it with the four blue corner dots, and you can add the border with the border tool and change the border color. And so I do all that. There it is, very simple stuff. Um, so it looks like you're looking through a window of a space station into a room where Scully is playing the drums. Um, because that's actually true. That's actually happening right now. I'm in space. So this is the first stage. Now, what I do at this point is I export it, and then I import this into iMovie and put more crap on top of that. Exporting sucks because it takes time and you have to wait while it processes and makes a video of this, which I won't even use as a final video, but it's a stage that I do. So a lot of this stuff is waiting around for the computer. Like this is it's not even 5 minutes long, and there's no movement yet except for Scully playing the drums. So it's not very intense and it won't take long at all. But some of the stuff I do, anyway, yeah, waiting sucks and it's a pain in the butt. So if you don't like that aspect, then you're probably not going to get into editing a lot. But it's part of it because computers take time to do things. Even if you have a modern super computer, they're just going to make software for it that doesn't work as well, and it's going to be around the same deal. It's still going to lag, it's still going to process, it's still going to take time because for some reason the ratio is always the same. But anyway, so yeah, that's something everyone deals with. And here is a quick look at a little bit of that first video after it's processed and placed back into the computer again. Oh, and Danny asked me what's up with the masks, and well, I mean, look at this guy. He's disgusting. I mean, nobody wants to look at that. His body is all fat and nasty, and believe me, under that mask, he is hideously ugly. So, you know, when you do all this editing and you have to look at yourself, you don't want to look at yourself. I'm an old man, so you know my days of striving to have that perfect body. You know, I did that for a while, and I had that for a while, but that's a lot of effort, and the older you get, the harder that is to achieve. Okay, now I gotta find the right slide where it was, and I think it's slide. It's not lucky 13. Almost there. Okay. Slide number 16. So the next thing I do is I kind of clean up the resource area and get rid of the stuff I no longer need, even though I forgot to get rid of the Scully drum video. And I import the video I just made back in. So there it is at the bottom of the list of the videos. And here it is popped back into the timeline. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add a second video on top of this video, which I don't do for every shot, but since I've used this drum performance before, it'll make it a little more interesting to have someone singing on top of it. So the vocalist is going to be this Jim Spriggles guy, and he did the initial science fiction toy collection, which I never used. I scrapped it and did something else with that. But I pitch shifted his voice up high, and so he's another person talking and not me. And yeah, he shows us space toys, and so now we get a blend of the drums and the guy talking that you can't really hear or understand, but it makes a nice vocal for this video. So yeah, exact same process that I just showed you. Picture in picture, pop it in, size it, add a frame, and now you've got two of them, and now you export again to the next video. Here's a little bit of that playing. So it's a little bit more interesting at this point, but we still have the green screen to deal with. Okay, so I think we're on slide 21. Yep, okay, so clean up the resources again. This time I remembered to get rid of Scully playing drums, import the completed processed video back in again, and away we go. So this time, instead of putting it down first, I put down the background image of space. I just steal these from the internet, they're public domain, and you can get them from any search engine. Any search engine. Excuse me. I don't normally talk this much this early. So, I adjust them a little bit and pull some of the color out because, well, this one in particular is hideous. But, let me get a drink. I like my coffee iced. Anyway, so yeah, there's the image of the space for the background, and do some adjusting on that. And here's one of the palette tools you can use to adjust. I mean, there's a lot you can do in iMovie, so if I found a way to do it in the program, I just go ahead and do it that way. Oh, also I didn't mention, but I've already done a ton of audio editing and gotten the audio the way I like it, and you have to mix two videos audio together to make it sound well. Audio editing is a completely different thing. I've been doing that for a long time because I have made, and well, whether I've made them or not, I've been a part in the making of a lot of musical albums. I'm about to put a few more up, but yeah, I had a career as a professional musician. I was a drummer. So as a professional drummer, I don't consider myself a musician. Um, a lot of drummers are musicians, but I find that there's an enormous distinction, and so I don't identify as a musician. Um, there's one joke that says, "Well, who's the guy that likes to hang out with musicians?" Oh, he's the drummer. I don't like that joke, but it's funny. But my version of that joke is, who are these people that gather around me while I sit here and do my thing? Oh, those are musicians. Anyway, so yeah, I learned a lot about audio editing over the years, and most of it was kind of, I don't know, out of necessity, because I was never, I, I got by, but I was never wealthy, so yeah, I had to do a lot of things to make things work. I mean, my whole life was duct tape and baling wire. Anyway, um, okay, so I've dragged this into the timeline and adjusted yeah. And now, so here we go. We pull the new guy on top of it, and next I'm going to pull the space image to the end of it. There we go. Same deal again. Now the next thing I'm going to do for these two shots, since they're the final two shots of this shot, um, is I'm going to use this Ken Burns video thing where it slowly moves the, I guess, perspective camera, whatever, from the start to the end. So I've radically zoomed in on this space thing so that the background will move slowly during the shot. And then I do the same thing to the green screen image differently, and perhaps not quite as radically. Oh, also, instead of cutaway or picture in picture, you set this one to green/blue screen. And then it wipes out the blue screen as we see here. Or the green color, it eliminates that. So you're left with this emergence. And now the space station is in space. And then I do a Ken Burns on this one as well, which is different. And so both images move, and it kind of gives sort of a feel of floating in space. There's nothing scientifically accurate about the way I do it. It's just I think it's kind of cool, and just it takes longer to export because it takes longer to process. Um, but when and sometimes I don't remember to do it, or it's too late and I have to add something, and so it has to remain still. But then I try to at least move the background. But yeah, I try and remember to move both of them independently, and it gives it even more of a feeling of movement. And it depends on the shot. Every shot is going to be different. I mean, this is a very basic shot for me, but and then I add the introduction stuff. The Star Space logo and the orbiting spy, and uh, I usually add a little canned sound effect from inside the program, and I'll use those a lot when I cut, and it just makes it fun when there's a jump cut or something. I just dig that. I think it's fun. And then finally, the finished product. Let's all watch it together. Okay. Well, uh, you know, Danny, I hope that was helpful at all. Everybody check out Exploring the World of Video Games and Blu-rays, because this channel is going to soar past me in a matter of days and leave me behind in the dust. And then when Danny is big and famous on YouTube, uh, you know, which will probably take him all of 6 months, then, maybe I'll shout at him at that time and be like, "Hey, Mr. Big Shot, famous guy, how about a shout out? Remember when I did that video?" And he'll be like, "Be gone, peasant," and that'll be the end. All right. Well, I hope everybody liked that, and maybe you found something useful in it. It's not a professional editing video or any kind of real how-to or anything like that. I just made that for Danny, and maybe if you want to get started, you need a little bit of software, as far as I know. Um, but if you just have a phone or you just have a tablet, then go on to the Android store or whatever it is, and just look for video editing software, uh, and see what it'll do. It'll do a little bit. I did a few projects that way before I got this computer. I got this computer used as cheap as I could. It does the job for now. The day will come when I'll need something else and I'll have to buy something else, and I don't look forward to that. But for now, it's running just fine and doing its job. It takes longer than something modern, but that's okay. I'm not a very modern person. And so, yeah, I hope this was helpful to someone. Now anyone can figure out all my secrets pretty easily and make their own space show. Um, yeah, so this is the basics. This will get you started, and it's one of the many things I've learned to do in this software. So, all right, enjoy, have fun, go make some weird videos. It's cool. All right, bye.